making corned beef and cabbage today here at the Young's house, and I am so excited to show you all how easy it is to make it taste delicious. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some cabbage, of course. Depending on how many people you're cooking for, that's gonna depend on how many cabbages you're gonna need. I have a large cabbage here. All right, nice sweet Vidalia onion, and this is the corned beef that we're gonna use. This stuff, good. All right, you're gonna need some butter. You're also gonna need some potatoes. We're gonna do something super special with these potatoes, and you can't serve cabbage without some type of cornbread. So we'll be making a easy, quick cornbread. You're gonna need some spices to make it come together and taste delicious. And my spices today is salt and pepper, garlic and onion powder, and parsley flakes for color, and I'm using some bacon grease. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make delicious corned beef and cabbage. Gina Young. Hope you all are having a great day today, and if you're not, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this here recipe. Let me hear from y'all. I want to hear from everybody in the comment section below. Do you love cabbage like we do here at the Young's house? And have you ever tried it where you're mixing the corned beef and cabbage? If you haven't had corned beef and cabbage, you are in for a super treat because it's so much fun to make. It's easy to make. Anybody you make it for, they love it. First thing we're gonna do, let's go ahead and get started cutting up a cabbage. So we're gonna gotta use a little bit of elbow grease, right? And you can really shred your cabbage if you want to, or you can cut it like I'm gonna do. It's quick, it's simple, and once you get it nice and cut, then we're gonna give it a nice rinse off. You always wanna wash your vegetables off, right? So just like this, and then we'll turn it around and do it like this. When we rinse it off, we'll be using cold water. Pretty simple, right? I grew up eating cabbage like I did. At my house growing up, we had cabbage at least maybe twice a month. And I think that that's a lot, and I loved it. My dad made some of the best cabbage ever. And how he made his was he put bacon in his, and he wouldn't fry the bacon ahead of time. He would just cut up the bacon and throw it in there, and the bacon kind of boils, but it makes for a really nice broth. You know how when I'm talking about pot liquor, right, when we're talking about greens, that broth is super flavorful from the bacon that he would put in there, and he would always serve our cabbage over rice. So anytime you were having cabbage, we were having rice underneath it. And so here at the Young's house, that's how I like to serve it. But now I have added the addition of some beautiful potatoes that we're going to put in. So now there's a lot of people that'll put their potatoes right into their recipe of the cabbage. We're going to make this potato recipe separate, and then you eat them together. You're going to love these potatoes. Trust me. Just nice and cut. I'm going to make my way over to the sink, and I'm going to rinse this off really good. I like to sprinkle just a little bit of salt into the cabbage and kind of rub the cabbage together, and it gets rid of any sand or mud that's in between, you know, these slices that we've chopped down. And then we're going to double back and get started on our potatoes. We've washed off our cabbage very well, and so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to add some flavor into our pot. Guess what I got? I got some bacon grease, some gorgeous bacon grease. I like to call this my liquid gold. About a tablespoon is going to make this cabbage very flavorful, okay? I've washed off the cabbage, and we're going to put it right into the pan. Just like this. In the beginning, it's going to look like you got too much, but trust me, it cooks down, so don't worry about that. All right, lovely. Just like this. I may put about a half a cup of water in here. We'll just kind of see how it's looking once it's frying. So right now I have the heat onto a medium heat. If you turn it up too high, really your cabbage is just going to turn into mush, and we're not looking for that, right? But don't turn it too low. So medium is about what you're looking for. Let's get started chopping up or slicing a nice sweet Vidalia onion. When you're cooking, it's just my opinion, the sweet Vidalia onion is going to give you the most flavor with any recipe that you're using. Let's go ahead and add some nice sweet Vidalia onion. You can slice it, dice it, however you want. I'm going to give it a nice slice. And honestly, if you wanted to put some bell pepper for color, put a red and green bell pepper. Not too much because you don't want to alter the flavor, but you can bring a gorgeous color to it with those bell peppers. Just like this, let it cook. Lovely. Those onions smell amazing right now. So this is how I like to make my potatoes. I don't put the potatoes in with the cabbage, although a lot of old school people like to do that. They cook the potatoes right in with the cabbage, but I like to make mine on the side. And what I do is I make a butter garlic potato. It's called, my grandma would call these boiled potatoes. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to cut these into quarters and we're going to boil them, and then I'm going to show you how to season them really good. So while our cabbage fries up, we have our potatoes nice and peeled. Let me show you how to quarter the potato. We're just going to slice it down this way, okay? And then if you have a long potato like I do, go ahead and cut it this way, right? But this right here would be considered quartered, okay? We're going to rinse them off with cold water until the water runs nice and clear. That means we've got rid of a lot of the starch. Okay, and we're going to boil these for about 20 minutes, making sure that they're nice and fork tender. And you want to be careful stirring them because you don't want to mush them. The potatoes off, they're in the cold water. Give them a nice salt, okay? And let's set them on medium-high to cook. Make up some cornbread, all right? So now in the bottom of here, I got some sugar. I put some brown sugar in there. When you're making a cornbread like this that is already mixed up for you, you can add all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of times, like 90% of the time, if I have shredded cheese, which I don't today, I'm putting it in there. Make it taste good. You could put corn pieces in here. You could put bell peppers and onions if you used a different color bell peppers, maybe some jalapenos, and then it will be like a Mexican style cornbread. There's so many different things you can do to your cornbread to like amp up the flavor. In my case today, I'm using a little bit of sugar. You can do buttermilk. Like, have fun when you're making these cornbread recipes, because it doesn't have to be just, you know, just the box, and you're putting in what the box tells you to put in, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. My bowl is a little bit too small. I'm going to grab another bowl, okay? But I will go ahead and put the eggs right in. Let's put some milk in. I never measure it, y'all. Are you kidding me? And here's the thing. You don't have to. It always turns out right. As long as you cook it for 20, 25 minutes, you're good to go. Don't let it cook too long. Stay nearby, because these can quickly get really brown on the top, and then you dry it out, right? So now my pan here, I have an oven-proof pan, and I have taken a clean paper towel with some vegetable oil, and I just coated the sides and the bottom of my pan to make sure that my cornbread is not sticking. In the meantime, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. Let's get this in. Let's get our cornbread right into our oiled pan, into the oven, 350 degrees. You can never have cabbage without a good cornbread on the side, right? Our cabbage has cooked down by a lot, okay? And so now is the perfect time I can go ahead and stir it without everything falling out the pan, right? Lovely. Oh my goodness, you couldn't imagine. It smells so great in here. And those sweet Vidalia onions are really going to bring in some good taste. We're going to keep on cooking it in that bacon grease until it cooks down much more. But in the meantime, I got to talk about this. This is our corned beef, and this stuff is good. If you've never tried it, it's a must. Okay, so it comes with a little key here on the side. You're going to take that key out. You need to turn it upside down to where the key is hanging this way onto this can. All right, and once you connect it, then you start turning it, and it will open up your can for you. I mean, it sounds complicated, but really it's not, okay? So I'm going to start turning. I know it's a little difficult with these nails, and it'll open up. It's not opening up, but it does open.
I figured that shit was going to happen on camera, because that is not no easy shit to do.
No.
It ain't.
Come on, God, please help me. All right, here. So let me come in and I'll show. And then I'll show them.
One.
Here's a close-up of how it works. That was funny. Things happen when you're really cooking, right? Just like this, you keep on twisting until you get it all the way open. This is what your corned beef will look like once you get it out the can. Now, you see that little white stuff right there? Don't worry about that. Guess what that is? It's just fat. you know, after it cooks and it dries or it cools down, naturally fat solidifies and looks just like that, right? So that's all it is. That's good flavor. Don't take it off. Get that rest back in there. Oh my goodness, lovely. Here's what I noticed. A lot of times I'll make this recipe using 2 big heads of cabbage. And I feel like one of those cans of the corned beef is enough for even 2, for 2 heads of cabbage. So if you wanted to put more corned beef in, if you're using more cabbage, that's fine, but 1 does the trick. Anytime I'm making cabbage or greens, I will always season them 2 times, okay? So now we're gonna go back in with the salt, just a little bit this time, okay? Garlic powder, black pepper, and onion powder, and then I'm gonna zoom in the next clip and show you guys what this is looking like. Oh my goodness. So let me show you the potatoes. The potatoes have cooked for about 20 minutes, and I stuck a fork in them. If the fork goes in with ease and slides out with ease, you know that's what fork tender is. Okay, so we've drained off as much water as we can. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm using a stick of butter. Okay, if you don't want to use that much, you know, whatever floats your fanny you can use. Okay, but I want that flavor. So now, because these potatoes, I don't want to mush them. And if you think you're going to turn them around and, you know, flip them or do whatever with a spoon, you're going to mush them. So here's what we're going to do. Leave the butter on there like that. It'll all melt. We're going to season the top of these potatoes with salt. Okay, you put the parsley flakes because it makes it nice and gorgeous. My mom would call that parsley potatoes, but my grandmom called them boiled potatoes. All right, so now I've added my addition. Grandmom didn't put garlic and onion powder, and I do. So this is the black pepper, lovely. And then we're gonna put a nice amount of garlic powder on purpose, a nice amount of onion powder. You put a lid on it and you let the butter melt. These are the best potatoes you have ever had, guaranteed. That's it. That's a lot of steam, but take a look. This is how your cabbage is going to look. Oh my goodness. You couldn't imagine, like the whole house smells amazing right now. The potatoes are done, and we're getting ready to slather some butter onto this cornbread. Look at that cornbread. Are you kidding me? Slather some good butter. I got a sweet cream butter. You know it can be salted or unsalted. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you ain't subscribed, what you waiting on? Tell your family and friends. Tell the world what Gina's doing every single day in this kitchen. And Father, on today, we thank you for this meal. Your hedge of protection and your love. Amen. Amen. Once again to my prayer, you stay tuned because we're going to taste. Let's taste. I know you want to taste. I'm going in. I am going all in. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Cabbage. Potatoes. Yes, ma'am. And the cornbread. Wait a minute. Oh. You're going to love this. Make some.